do. Thank you.
It's my pleasure now to introduce our next speaker, who is Aasim Khalid. Aasim is the founder and managing director of Bookacourse.com, an online education portal specializing in professional training and education. He has extensive experience as a corporate IT trainer and network consultant, and has held senior positions in many top technology companies. He's also director of Kingston Computer Consultancy, creating products for the new e-economy. Welcome, Khalid.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, not only as the managing director of Bookacourse, but also as the as training manager. I've been training manager and involved in the training industry for around 10 years now. It concerns me that, and it's concerned me for a while really, that the procurement mechanism for corporate and large businesses and even the public sector is fairly haphazard. In a time when the Blair government is talking about e-procurement, about streamlining, about maximizing budgets, that we have a lot of impulse buying going on in the public sector and in large businesses. The technology exists, the infrastructure exists. So it concerns me that it's still not the case with large businesses that they centralize their procurement system and truly leverage the economies of scale that can be leveraged. Also, people talk about B2B, business-to-business models and business-to-consumer models, when really what we should be addressing and talking about is C2B model, where customer or the consumer is king. So with that thought, I would like to talk about the e-communities and portals. The choice is huge, and internet is a medium that is revolutionizing all aspects of society. Education is no exception. The choice is there, but what's scarce is the customer attention and time. The information is not organized in a way that makes an easy search. Search engines do exist, but they're not context sensitive, and it's not very easy to limit geographically your search. What's required is a special kind of search engine that is industry specific, a search engine that understands the consumer's needs, a search engine that you can very easily use to get at the information within a few clicks. The answer that a lot of people are talking about is an e-community or a portal. The idea is that the end users are brought to the suppliers within an infrastructure that allows the end users to not only get at the industry-specific suppliers and products and services, but also related products and services. So an e-community brings together people with similar interests to a common platform. And I'd like to discuss the evolution process and in the education world, the future for all training. First generation portals, the way I see it, have just taken the bricks and mortar concepts and brought them online. So various types of first generation portals exist. Some are an e-directory, which is basically a glorified Yellow Pages. Just allows you to carry out a simple search. It's not very dynamic. There aren't any comparison facilities or purchasing facilities. It's just a glorified Yellow Pages that puts you in touch with the supplier. There's no emphasis on customer relationship, and therefore there's no loyalty by the customer with this e-directory. And there's no real automation either. A slightly more sophisticated brother of e-directory is the first generation e-community. Again, as I said before, an online meeting place for people with common interest, encourages customer loyalty this time because they're discussing the issues and they're bringing together people with common interest. It's a meeting place where people can discuss issues and have a look at the different services that are offered in that industry. There is, generally speaking, a search and buy facility, but not necessarily a comparison facility. It's not, these type of e-communities don't tend to be independent either. They tend to offer their own products and services as well as being a marketplace for other people's products and services. That may lead to a conflict of interest because the market itself is trying to put something to the front. Other value-added services can also be offered in this e-community, thereby trying to address a more complete need of the user. An e-market is another version of first-generation portals or communities. An e-market is a more commercial beast. It's still theme-oriented, and it still has industry focus. It generally profits from markups from suppliers. They try and sell convenience and availability rather than price, and rather than the impartiality of the information presented. They're really batting from the supplier side, and therefore they can't really truly get the loyalty of the customer, of the consumer. So they try and take the attention away by providing other tools which centralize the procurement process. They try and centralize and the account management, workflow automation, and other issues like that. Generally try and make it easy to do business and lock in the buyers. The second generation portals tend to use more advanced technology. They have better infrastructure. They are better evolved. They tend to offer a more personalized service and ultimately more choice and more flexibility. And for the first time, this idea of real-time access to the course schedules, to the products, the services. They attempt to facilitate and not fulfill. So they are able to hold a more independent stance. This time round, you have search, comparison, and a buy facility. Because they're independent, they can form alliances and grow very, very quickly and become global, and the whole model is very scalable. They tend to have a stronger focus on customer relationships. They tend to create a stronger brand and therefore generate more loyalty with the consumer. Again, the lock-in happens, but it happens more voluntarily this time. And customized tools are made available to the consumer by this second-generation portal that centralizes the procurement and therefore streamlines the whole procurement as well. There can now be horizontal expansion to address the more complete need rather than the core service that the portal provides. The revenue stream tends to be a percentage of the transaction. Since this portal or community is at the heart of the community and all financial transactions flow through it, a percentage of the transaction as a revenue stream is quite attractive. Some may charge for membership, or some may use a combination of the two models. Their market development strategy can be top-down or it can be bottom-up. Top-down means that they get a letter of intent from the corporate, from big businesses first, and then equipped with that, they leverage large discounts and service-level agreements from the sellers. A more difficult approach is the bottom-up approach. Here, you build the partnerships with the suppliers first, work hard at building the infrastructure that connects the suppliers with the marketplace in real time, develop products that allow the suppliers to market their products in very many unique ways, and then they go to attract the buyers based on choice in the industry. This, I feel, is a more evolved, requires a more evolved portal or e-community before you can go to the market. The first mover advantage, again, is key. You can form exclusive partnerships with both ends of the value chain and thereby lock in and ensure future success. This also results in trust and loyalty, and you start to build a community of trust. You gain confidence of the buyers and the seller. Now, seller community is also very important. So you have to gain trust of the buyer and the seller community. You do that by understanding the buyer's needs, by categorizing the buyers into different areas, big businesses, individuals, public sector, small to medium-sized companies, and really try and understand their needs and develop tools that are customized for that category and provide a very cost-effective and simple solution. You have to understand the seller's needs too. They need to market their products, their services in a very effective manner. And again, you have to provide products for them to be able to do that. This creates enhanced loyalties at both ends of the value chain. The products for buyers will also produce a lock-in effect because you're centralizing the procurement, you're getting into their systems, you're integrating into their existing business processes. And that's a very strong position to be in. Products for the suppliers too lock in the suppliers with this e-community, with this second-generation portal. By automating the upload of the information, providing real-time access to their information, because that information is changing all the time. The number of places in a given course, the prices, everything needs to change dynamically. And that information needs to be made available to the consumer in real time to give them the real power. Security is important because you need that trust in your systems. That leads to empowerment. And to coin the Citizen Smith phrase, power to the people, effectively this can happen is when the consumer actually identifies and agrees with the mission statement of the community and the ethos within that community. The e-community needs to leverage portal technologies to connect in real time. Provide tools to search and to compare. When you compare, you have to provide all the tangible information. So, for example, price, availability, details about the product or service, and quality. Now, quality is one of those intangible things that's very difficult to put to the user so they can compare. So, what some portals are trying to do is make the consumer evaluate the services and products and make that independent market research available to other people, rather like Amazon, when before buying a book, you read what other people have said about it. Also, at the heart of the community, because you're at the heart of the community and everything flows through this central component, you're privy to a lot of market intelligence. You can understand the buying patterns, not only the buying patterns, but also the selling patterns, the marketing patterns. So with the buying patterns, you can get an insight into the business process and optimize it for your consumers. You can provide new marketing techniques and tools for the sellers to push those products and services to the buyer. But the community must offer